tonight I'm gonna make some cornbread to go along with some beans that I've got going. And I thought I'd bring you along because I'm gonna spin this cornbread around in a different way and dress it up in a little different cornbread outfit. And so, you know, I make my standard cornbread, but I really wanted to put a little different spin on this to make it more interesting and absolutely delicious. So that's what we're gonna do, and I hope it inspires you to stay along with me. We're also going to let you go over to my Facebook page down in the show more box below and go over to Wild Tree and visit that and see if you like anything over there. Hit that like button at Facebook. All right, see you on watching what I'm posting right away. Anyways, let's go make some cornbread. Dressed up in a little different outfit. All right, guys, I'm glad you could decide to stay. You can have a seat, and we're gonna make some cornbread. So I got one large organic cage-free egg. I don't ever use anything else if I can help it. First off, I don't think chickens should be locked up in a 12-inch cube for their whole life. Secondly, it's proven that they're healthier for you. So I've got that egg in here, and I'm just gonna take a little fork and kind of pop that yolk and whisk that up a little bit in there. You don't have to get all particular about it because it's all gonna get mixed up pretty good. Now I've got some buttermilk, and buttermilk is naturally low in fat. It is the byproduct of, you know, butter and milk, full fat. So buttermilk's lower in fat for you than milk. I was raised on this. I was raised in dairy country, and so buttermilk was always in the house, and I always have it. If I don't have buttermilk itself, I have buttermilk powder. And I could have used buttermilk powder and milk with this, but I decided not to do that. And so now I've got my wet ingredients. Let's move over to the dry ingredients. And this is going to be so delicious. You don't even know how good this is going to be. It's phenomenal. Okay, so I'm going to get a couple of things out here to help me out. Okay. Now we've got dry ingredients. So we're going to do cornmeal. And I like the coarse ground cornmeal. You can do it any way you want, but that's what I prefer. This is 2/3 of a cup. Whoop. And so I'm going to do, I want a cup. So there's a cup of that. Same thing with my all-purpose flour. You could use whole wheat. You could use, gosh, you could use all kinds of flour if you wanted to. You could use self-rising if you didn't have baking soda or baking powder, I mean. So anyway, okay, I've got my flour and my cornmeal. And again, I'm going to kind of whisk that together as I put these little ingredients. I need a teaspoon of baking powder, and I level that off, okay? You can do it however you want, and I need a teaspoon of baking soda. And there you go. And we'll just kind of whisk that together. You don't need to too crazy about it. My husband loves cornbread, loves it. And so I thought, you know, I've got this beautiful pot of beans, and I'm going to treat him to some cornbread. All right, so I'm just going to kind of make a little well in the bottom because now I need to add some honey. And I'm probably going to pop that in the microwave just for a second to get that moving. And then, while I've got you, I want to make sure you can see this. Okay, this is my favorite brand of frozen corn. This is Trader Joe's roasted corn, and it is sweet but roasted. It's just delicious. And salsas, stews, soups, chowder, you name it. And when I go, I stock up. It's absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to put down about, let's see, let me get my measuring cup. So I want to make sure we have plenty of this in there. Sometimes we add cream corn, but we're gonna add a full cup of that in there. And that's gonna be wonderful. And my honey's done. Gotta have some sweet cornbread, so I'll say that's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, and 3. 3 tablespoons of honey. Yum. Now, I need some little bit of heat to go along with the sweet, right? Some red pepper flakes, maybe a half a teaspoon, not even that. We need some salt, right? And we're gonna need, for real, we're gonna need some cheddar cheese. So I'm gonna grate some cheddar cheese down over that before we add the wet ingredients and get my cast iron vessel all hot and ready to go. Okay, so we've got our all of our dry or semi-dry ingredients right here, and the honey's kind of trying to harden up on me, and I don't really want that, but so we're gonna break that up and add our egg and buttermilk mixture to this. And you could use just plain sugar. You could use, like I said, you could use milk with buttermilk powder. I just think this is just a delicious recipe. Now, if I feel like I haven't got the ratio correct, like my egg was bigger than I thought, or you know, the batter doesn't look right to me, I can take away or add to it any way I want. I think this one's going to be pretty good. And you want it really like a batter. You don't want it too thick, so I actually might be adding a little more. I might add a little more cornmeal. Because I think, or not cornmeal, but buttermilk. I'm going to add a little bit more buttermilk. I think because a lot of times I use cream corn in this recipe, and I don't have any. I'm using the other corn. It changes it. That's delicious. I've made that a lot. Okay, now we're talking cornbread. Okay. So now you've got that kind of a wet dough that came from sand. So it starts out like wet sand and ends up like a batter, a thick, heavy, dense batter. Okay, just like that. All right, I'm waiting on my cast iron to heat up, and we're gonna put it in there and get it going. Okay, so I'm back, and I have my cast iron bread pan that I'm gonna cook this off. Usually I do it in a frying pan, but you know, I thought, I never get to use this. I don't get to use it very often. So I'm getting some butter melted down in here, and whew, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna make that crust just delicious. And so we don't want to scrimp on the butter. If you're having cornbread, you gotta have some butter. I don't care. It's just not right to have it any other way. In my book. Okay, so we're gonna splurge tonight. I don't get to splurge very often, and I won't splurge a big amount, but okay. So we'll try to do this so you can see. Get that batter down, and this pan is hot. It's not screaming hot, but it is hot. And I'm going to put this in a 400-degree oven, and we're going to cook it until I can pull a toothpick out clean, and all the cheese is melted, and it's just going to be delicious. Now you can see all that butter's coming up around the edge, and what that's going to do, it's going to create this delicious buttery crust around the edge that my husband and I are going to squabble over. So I'm going to put that in the oven. I'll be right back when it's all done and I can show it to you. All right, you guys, Now I have to tell you, everybody says this. I wish we had smell-o-vision. I truly wish that I could PM you guys a bite of this, because taste-o-vision would be amazing right now. This smells so good. You can smell it when it's done. And I did cover this with a piece of parchment because it's going to brown up pretty quickly, and all the edges are nice and loose, and yum. Okay, and I'm going to try to behave and just take a very small portion here. The pan's still really hot, so, but it gave me the clean fork test, and so kind of hard to get this out. Let me see if I can do it without mutilating this first piece. Sometimes it's a sacrifice, but this one feels like it's really loose. And here we go. Look how brown and beautiful. Oh my goodness. Is that gorgeous or what? That is beautiful. Nothing is stuck to the bottom. It's all right here. You got pieces of the corn. I gotta get some butter. Now my husband, he would want more honey on it. So he'll get that, no problem. Usually I'm eating I'm taking a bite of his, but I'm gonna take a bite of this. I may not eat this whole piece, you guys, just because I'm really trying to behave. And this is actually, I made this for a recipe to serve, and this is still pretty hot. But I really want you guys to get a visual and maybe get you in a little closer. Because, man, does that look good or what? Any of you cornbread lovers out there, I'm pretty sure that this is a winter cornbread dinner. Okay. We're going to have this alongside some beans. Look how brown and crispy because of that butter. That is outstanding. Sorry. I have to tell you, this is without a doubt one of my favorite pieces of cornbread. It's got that corn in there that has that charred flavor to it. It's been charred and it's delicious. And then there's some cheese in there and a little bit of, just a touch of the red pepper flakes. I barely get a hint of that in the background. And the sweet of the honey and using the heartier grain of cornmeal really makes this a hearty, beautiful, I'm not from the South, but I must be Southern at heart because this is my kind of food. All right. I'm only going to eat this much. I promise. My gosh, that's delicious. Okay. So I hope this brings you back. I truly hope this inspires you to make your own cornbread. How inexpensive is that? A cup of cornmeal and a cup of flour and a couple other little tiny ingredients. Really and truly, it's pennies. And to go buy it in the store, already made, it doesn't taste right. I don't know. I've never done that, but pretty sure it doesn't taste right. And so, anyway, I hope this inspires you to come back and visit me again. Stay with me. I've got lots more videos coming up, and in all categories. I don't just do cooking. Sometimes I do a little homesteading or a little prepping ahead. You never know. All right, guys. As always, see you next time. And God bless.